In a critical juncture for the Green Bay Packers, the return of Josh Jacobs to the training field raises as many questions as it answers. How will this unresolved legal situation impact the team's backfield strategy moving forward? Fans, we want to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and what's your take on Jacobs' situation? As the Packers dive deeper into their organized team activities, Jacobs was spotted on the field during the second week of offseason work. Head coach Matt LaFleur, ever the stoic leader, kept his comments brief, merely confirming Jacobs' participation while maintaining that the team remains undeterred by the ongoing legal drama surrounding their star running back. To recap the situation, Jacobs was arrested on May 23rd following police response to a complaint at his home in Hobart. After spending nearly a full day in Brown County Jail, he was released on May 27th. The Hobart/Lawrence police have recommended a staggering 6 charges against him, 2 felonies for strangulation and suffocation, along with 4 misdemeanors including battery and intimidation of a victim. Jacobs, however, has strongly denied all allegations through his legal representation, a statement that should resonate with fans who are hoping for a swift resolution. The Brown County District Attorney's Office has not yet made a decision regarding formal charges, indicating that further investigation is necessary. They highlighted the difference between the probable cause standard that led to Jacobs' arrest and the higher threshold needed for actual charges. Meanwhile, the Packers have chosen to acknowledge the situation without diving into specifics, creating an air of uncertainty that could loom over the team as they prepare for the upcoming season. Stability has been a hallmark of the Packers' offseason program, which kicked off on April 15th with a structured approach to strength and conditioning, followed by on-field practices. Unfortunately, Jacobs missed significant time in the early stages, including most of the first week and all of the subsequent week following his arrest. This timing couldn't be worse as the backfield is shaping up to be highly competitive and every rep counts. For Jacobs, getting back into the rhythm of team activities is crucial, not just for his own development, but for solidifying his role in what appears to be an open competition for the starting position heading into training camp. Jacobs is in the midst of a 4-year, $48 million contract, and his performance last season, 1,211 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns, establishes him as a pivotal player in the Packers' offensive strategy. His accolades as a 3-time Pro Bowler and first-team All-Pro in 2022 underline his importance to the team. The Packers clearly view him as an irreplaceable asset, and his return to form could be the key to the team's success this coming season. However, the situation becomes even murkier when considering the NFL's personal conduct policy, which allows for a review independent of any legal outcomes. Potential consequences could include a suspension of up to 6 games for domestic violence-related incidents, even if no formal charges are filed. This looming possibility adds a layer of complexity that fans must grapple with, as the uncertainty around Jacobs' availability could have significant implications for the Packers season. As we stand at this crossroads, the hope is that everything unfolds positively for Jacobs and the team. The Packers need clarity, and they need it fast. With the offseason already underway, every moment lost on the practice field could potentially impact their preparations for a critical 2023 campaign. As we pivot to our next segment, the focus remains on how the team will navigate these choppy waters and what it means for their overall strategy moving forward. The Green Bay Packers are stepping into the new season with a roster brimming with potential, but this year, they are doing so with a crucial addition: veteran experience. As trade rumors swirl and speculation grips the fanbase, the arrivals of linebacker Zaire Franklin and defensive tackle Javon Hargrave have the potential to be transformative for a team that has been yearning for that elusive playoff breakthrough. So, where are you watching from, and what do you think about these moves? Drop your opinions in the comments. Over the past few seasons, the Packers have embraced a youth movement, cultivating one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. This strategy has its perks, fostering excitement and long-term optimism, but it has also led to a glaring issue: a lack of experience in critical moments. The team has faced early exits in the playoffs for 2 consecutive years, stumbling in the wild card round despite showcasing a wealth of talent. This offseason, the Packers have made a concerted effort to address that gap in experience. Xavier McKinney, the star safety for Green Bay, has openly acknowledged the significance of the offseason additions, stating, "We have guys now that have a lot of experience, or more experience than we've had in the past." That might not ignite fireworks in the headlines, but for a team eyeing the leap from playoff contender to legitimate Super Bowl threat, this could be a game changer. The Packers have clearly recognized the need for veteran leadership, targeting Franklin through trade and securing Hargrave in free agency. Their impact is already being felt during off-season workouts, where both players have emerged as pivotal voices. Franklin has stepped into the green dot role on defense, taking on the responsibility of communicating plays from defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. That's a heavy burden to carry, especially for a defense in search of a renewed identity under a new regime. Hargrave, on the other hand, has settled in as a calming influence along the defensive line, providing the stability that has been sorely needed. McKinney's observations underscore the early benefits of these additions. "I think you kind of see that with who we have now and what we have kind of going on," he noted. "The difference in this roster is palpable. The Packers have long believed in their young talent, but adding seasoned players who have weathered the storms of high-pressure games could be the difference maker." Hargrave, with his extensive postseason experience, and Franklin, who has demonstrated leadership qualities with the Colts, bring a wealth of knowledge that can help navigate the turbulent waters of a long NFL season. Furthermore, the connection to Jonathan Gannon cannot be overstated. Both Franklin and Hargrave have worked under him previously, making their transition into the Packers system smoother. This familiarity is not just advantageous for the players, it can also accelerate the learning curve for the rest of the defense, which desperately needs to improve after 2 seasons of inconsistency. If the Packers can make significant strides on the defensive side of the ball in 2026, the acquisitions of Franklin and Hargrave could be viewed as the cornerstones of their offseason strategy. It's not about the flashy headlines, but rather the maturity, leadership, and experience they bring to a youthful roster striving for greatness. The stakes are higher than ever, and these moves signal a shift in mindset for a franchise that is hungry for a championship. Now, as we move on to the next segment, we'll delve deeper into how these changes are reverberating through training camp and what it means for the upcoming season. Stay tuned.
As we dive into the final segment of today's discussion, the Green Bay Packers have been making headlines this offseason, albeit in a more measured way than in years past. After splurging on top-tier talent like Josh Jacobs and Micah Parsons, the Packers had to shift gears, focusing on strategic additions rather than flashy signings. Veterans like Benjamin St. Just, Zaire Franklin, and Tyra Taylor are now part of the roster, but let's be clear. These moves are smaller in scale compared to the blockbuster acquisitions we've seen before. Now, for the Packers to elevate from a wild card team to Super Bowl contenders, the key lies in the organic development of their young talent. The growth of players like Jordan Morgan, who's finally settled in at left tackle, could spell the difference between championship glory and another season of dissatisfaction. Morgan's journey hasn't been easy. After 2 tumultuous years of bouncing around the offensive line, he's been granted the opportunity to claim the left tackle position, a role he's longed for. JMO, as his teammates affectionately call him, has been putting in the work this offseason, and Jordan Love is taking notice. Love's endorsement of Morgan speaks volumes, indicating that the quarterback has faith in his left tackle's ability to protect his blind side. Morgan himself has demonstrated a remarkable attitude, embracing whatever role the coaching staff has needed him to fill. But let's not sugarcoat it. The struggles he faced in his first 2 seasons were real. When you're a perfectionist and you find yourself not performing at your best, it takes a toll. However, all that hard work and the mental hurdles could lead to a breakout season. The Packers need Morgan to be more than just average. They need him to be a reliable anchor on the offensive line. The previous year's left tackle, Rashid Walker, had his ups and downs, and Morgan's performance will be scrutinized closely. The situation gets even more tense with the Rams adding a pass-rushing force like Myles Garrett to their lineup. The Packers will face off against the Rams just before Thanksgiving, and Morgan's readiness will be crucial for that matchup. What's concerning is the lack of a solid backup plan should Morgan struggle or, heaven forbid, get injured. The Packers' depth at left tackle is thin, with names like Darian Kinnard and Zach Tom stepping into the spotlight. But let's be honest, these are not the type of players you want to rely on in a pinch. If Morgan can't hold up, it may lead to a scramble that could derail the entire offensive scheme. Now let's pivot to Matthew Golden, another player whose trajectory could deeply impact the Packers' success this season. The excitement surrounding his first-round selection was palpable, yet his rookie season was underwhelming, largely due to injuries and the depth of veteran talent ahead of him. However, he made a statement in the playoff game against Chicago, scoring his first touchdown and demonstrating that he has what it takes to shine when the spotlight is on him. With key departures like Romeo Dew and Dontavian Wicks, Golden has a golden opportunity to step up this season. He's in a prime position to become a significant offensive weapon alongside stars like Christian Watson and Jaden Reed. As he enters his second year, he's confident that the game is starting to slow down for him, a crucial factor for any young player aiming to make a mark in the league. Golden's reflections on his growth show promise, and he has the talent to elevate the Packers' offensive playmaking ability. The chemistry he builds with Love and the other receivers will be pivotal as they seek to create a dynamic aerial attack that can keep defenses guessing. Speaking of defense, a crucial question lingers. Who will step up alongside Lucas Van Ness? With Micah Parsons likely locking down one side, the Packers must rely on a mix of Brennan Cox, Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, and rookie Danny Dennis-Sutton. This group is unproven, and their performance will be critical in determining how effective the defense can be overall. As we wrap up this discussion, it's clear that the Packers are at crossroads. The future hinges on the development of young players like Morgan and Golden, and how well they can integrate into the team's plans. The pressure is mounting, and the fans are watching closely. Now, I want to hear from you, Packers fans. Where are you watching from, and what do you think about the team's direction? Are you optimistic about Morgan's potential at left tackle? And how do you see Golden fitting into the offense this season? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as we move forward, be sure to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of our beloved Green Bay Packers. Your passion fuels this community, and together we can support our team as they strive for greatness.